Hello, and thank you for tuning in to a reading of the History of Nexus. After Wildstar was shut down, the webpage containing its history sadly went with it. But, through the mystical powers of the internet, its origins are now saved. Each chapter will be here anytime you want to think back on the history of our favorite planet. I've included the original text as well if you want to mute my less than stellar voice and read it over again instead of listen. Now then, let us begin. Part 3. Condition Critical. Sonata switched to a private link. "A billion's not possible. That would be over the power of 1,000,000,000,000 supernovas, emitting every second, but the intervals are widening. If we wait, we lose it." Sonata extruded an antenna from his helmet, set its oscillating rate, and scanned the wedge of starlight that the Nomad's vast sweeping curve was slowly devouring off to his right. Numerals flickered steadily across his HUD as he re-ran them twice. "Orders, sir?" Thetford said in his ear. Sonata could tell from his tone that Thetford had done the calculations as well. "Far in excess of anything we've encountered." "We can relocate once we're clear," Vesca said sharply. "Too far," he said. "Sir, engines are still priming. Regardless, it's so far we're talking a one-way trip, assuming the G's don't tear us apart, or it sizzles our instruments to a crisp." An imploring note had crept into her voice. "It's not worth it, Gorin." He waited. She went on. "Our mission's to report back." She was right, but 1,000,000,000 ergs. He looked at the open hatchway. There was only room and time for a single decompression. He gazed down. Krint's hand groped for the rung inches beneath Sonata's ankle. The kid was grinning up at him, gap-toothed and relieved. The mission, Sonata thought. Nothing else matters. As Krint's arm reached for the rung, Sonata kicked down, his foot crunching into Krint's faceplate. He glimpsed Krint's stunned look of horror and amazement. The air hissed out, the youthful freckled face turned blue, and his body spun away, off towards the nebula. Sonata glided into the hatchway and turned to watch it begin rolling shut. Even through his suit, he felt Nomad throb with revving power. "Vesca, I'm in. Punch it." "On it," she said flatly. She didn't ask about Krint. She didn't need to. Through the viewport, he watched the tiny speck of Krint's body disappear amid glittering hurricanes of rocks the size of continents, hurtling inexorably towards Nomad. Then the engine screamed, and Sonata was flung against the wall. The stars through the viewport lengthened into comet trails. Like arrows, he thought bitterly, charting his headlong descent. Then he blacked out, and dreamed for the first of many, many times of Krint's terrified face.